Rural entrepreneurship. Rural entrepreneurship is looked as a means to increase income and employment as well as providing stability and growth in rural communities. It is defined as the creation of a new organization that introduces a new product, serves or creates a new market, or utilizes a new technology in a rural environment. Here the entrepreneur tries to look at the problems and opportunities of solving problems in the rural areas. To put it in simple words, we can say that entrepreneurship emerging in rural areas is called rural entrepreneurship. Thus, entrepreneurship emerging at village level which can take place in a variety of fields of endeavor such as business, industry, agriculture and acts as a potential factor for economic development. In other words, the rural entrepreneur is one who is staying in village producing goods and services mainly with local resources. He organizes factors of production and takes risk. In India, nearly 70% of the population lives in villages depending mainly on agriculture and allied activities. There is widespread unemployment and underemployment with labor abundance and capital shortage. Hence, the development of rural entrepreneurship is very important for creating employment opportunities in rural areas and rural development. Rural migration to the urban areas has become a common phenomenon. The rural people migrate to urban areas due to concerns of livelihood, unemployment, smaller land holdings, relatively more opportunities of earning and stability in urban areas, peer pressure and so on. One of the major challenges of entrepreneurial growth in rural space is lack of supportive ecosystem for individual growth, culture and enterprise support. Hence, it is a major policy concern to address this issue. Boost for rural entrepreneurship and equitable development is a much desirable impact any state would like to ensure through its policy interventions. The interventions must facilitate the development of rural entrepreneurship culture in the rural areas for the empowerment of rural people. These entrepreneurs utilize local natural and physical resources to produce products like processed food, handicrafts, intermediate artifacts etc., and services like tourist services, input labor services for bigger companies based in remote areas and so on. These entrepreneurs are rooted in the rural setup and majority of direct stakeholders, particularly on input side, belong to the rural areas. Through this self-employment route, raw material and labor resources can be efficiently utilized. The efficient utilization of resources helps to improve socio-economic condition of the people living in rural and remote areas. Lack of rural entrepreneurship may result in wastage of resources available in these remote areas. Moreover, it may add to the cost of goods in urban areas because in many sectors, logistics cost and supply chain management challenges will be more if entrepreneurs based in urban areas utilize these resources. This creates possibilities of relatively more value addition early in the production process within the rural space as compared to value realization for processes in urban space. It drives opportunities of better economic well-being through better margin percentages, better utilization of local resources, social balance and overall sustainability. While there are benefits, there are also several challenges for entrepreneurs to risk projects in rural areas. There could be bigger concerns of securing financial resources for sizable rural startup as there would confidence issues for investors. Similarly, getting unskilled resources may be easier in rural areas, but sustaining even few high-skilled resources can be quite challenging. Concerns and challenges for rural entrepreneurship. Rural entrepreneurship triggers development of other facilitating institutions, entities and service providers. Growth of financial ecosystem and fintech in rural sector can be seen associated positively to the growth of rural entrepreneurship. It helps to decrease migration from rural to urban places as people in rural areas can accommodate relatively lower wages and remuneration because of lower cost of living, lifestyle habits and vicinity to their relations. Government support for rural entrepreneurship in India. Various government schemes have been launched from time to time to encourage rural entrepreneurship. There have been various schemes to support cluster development in various areas which many times involves engaging non-governmental organizations, NGOs, as well. For example, One such scheme called Ambedkar Hast Shilp Vikas Yojana was launched in early 2000 to develop handicraft clusters across India wherein women artisans can create their self-help groups, SHGs, at the village level, and several SHGs together will collaborate together to form a cluster. NGOs were required to support capacity building, access to markets and hand-hold clusters for a specific period, after which they were to withdraw so that clusters can run the handicraft enterprise on their own. A cluster is a group of enterprises located within an identifiable and, as far as practicable, contiguous area and producing similar product, services. One of the recent schemes, specific to rural entrepreneurship, a scheme for promotion of innovation, rural industries and entrepreneurship, Aspire, was launched by Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise, MSME. This scheme aims at setting up a network of technology centers and to set up incubation centers to accelerate entrepreneurship and also to promote start-ups for innovation in agriculture industry. In addition, there are several other schemes to facilitate the efforts individuals and groups to develop ventures which directly or indirectly support rural entrepreneurship. Importance of rural entrepreneurs. Rural entrepreneurs play a vital role in the overall economic development of the country. The growth and development of rural industries facilitates self-employment, results in wider dispersal of economic and industrial activities, and helps in the maximum utilization of locally available raw materials and labor. Following are some of the important role which rural industries play in ameliorating the socio-economic conditions of the rural people in particular and the country in general. 1. Generates employment opportunities. Rural entrepreneurs play a vital role in generating employment opportunities in the rural areas where there is already disguised and seasonal unemployment. They make use of surplus labor which is abundant in Indian rural areas. 2. Earning foreign exchange. A rural entrepreneur helps in protecting and promoting arts and crafts and preserves the rich heritage of rural India. They also helps to foreign exchange as Indian handicrafts are famous all over the world. 3. Developing rural youth. Rural entrepreneurship helps and provokes rural youths to stand away from crowd and not become an addition to the queue of unemployed people. As rural entrepreneurs, they may give employment to others and work for the growth and development of their village. 4. Improved standard of living. By generating employment opportunities in rural areas will also increase the earnings of the people of these areas, thereby increasing the standard of living of the people of rural areas. 5. Balanced regional growth. Rural entrepreneurs also facilitates in promoting balanced regional growth in India. These days industries are being set up in these areas, which will lead to development of these areas. The establishment of industries helps in raising income or raises the standard of living of the people of these areas with respect to urban areas. Thus, the balanced regional growth may be promoted. 6. Checking migration. Rural entrepreneurship also helps in checking migration activities of people from rural to urban areas in search for work, as the work will already be available in their areas with the development of rural entrepreneurship. Some examples of rural entrepreneurship. Kameshwar Prasad from village of Taraya, in Saran district, Bihar, started trading rechargeable solar lanterns in his village after he learnt about Vilgro's Energy Entrepreneur Incubation Program. Considering the electricity situation in his village, he knew that the rechargeable solar lanterns were bound to have a market. He wanted to do something on his own rather than migrating to some city for livelihood, which many of his community members did to sustain themselves. He invested a small capital of 15,000 rupees, which was required as deposit money. Initially he gave free lanterns for trial to some households, which helped him to get word of mouth. With support of Vilgro and Saija Finance, he investigated about the market potential and found a positive response. He realized that the alternative source of kerosene-based light energy was costly, about 8 rupees 10 per day for village households, and quality of light was also poor. He got networked with other support institutions with the help of Vilgro. He is able to get continuous orders and started charging rent on use basis at Rs. 0.7 per day. He started making profits, which he now feels is good enough and expects to scale his business to other villages as well. Mythical, Fridge, founded by Mansik Bhai, who grew up in the family of claymakers near Rajkot, is a good example of rural entrepreneurs. He started his journey from a tea stall and reached a point in life where he took a loan of 30,000 rupees for setting up his own earthen plate manufacturing factory. But his success came with a time frame, and the devastating earthquake of 2001 destroyed half of his products, but also sparked an idea which led to the birth of mythical fridge. This was made up of terracotta and worked on a simple physics principle of circulating and evaporating water, keeping the contents cool and fresh for up to 5 days. Mythical, today, makes and exports fridge, non-stick tawa, low-cost water filters, thermal water bottles, etc., and has also won many awards. Women entrepreneurship. The percentage of female population in India is around 48%. But if you see the percentage of women entrepreneurs in India, it is alarmingly less. Women entrepreneurship development seeks attention here. The importance of discussion on women entrepreneurs is important for the reason that women face many more challenges than their counterparts to start businesses, and yet they are able to succeed and perform. Women are influenced more by socio-cultural complexities compared to male counterparts to become an entrepreneur in developing countries. Women still face restrictions in mobility in many parts due to various reasons, in spite of so much advancement, which make entrepreneurial role tougher for them. They are also deep-rooted into the family ties and home issues management. Women, despite such challenges and deterrents, in developing countries including India, have shown they can manage such challenges and run enterprises successfully. To discuss women entrepreneurship further, let us first understand what women entrepreneurship is. Women entrepreneurs may be defined as a woman or a group of women who initiate, organize, and run a business concern. Women entrepreneurship is an entrepreneur process with the aim of creating a business entity, taking the necessary risk, organizing resources, planning and managing the entity by women. The state policy definition for women entrepreneurship is: a woman enterprise is the one owned and controlled by a woman, having minimum financial interest of 51% of the capital and giving at least minimum 51% of generated employment to women. Famous economist J. Schumpeter defines women entrepreneur as a women who innovate, initiate or adopt business actively are called women entrepreneurs. A woman entrepreneur has to perform all the functions involved in setting up and managing an enterprise. These functions include all necessary steps in the entrepreneurial journey, from ideation, business planning, resource mobilization including funds, setting up organization type, marketing, selling and liaison with the regulatory organizations. To sum it up, you can say that women entrepreneurs are those women, who initiate and create a business venture by organizing, combining and managing the factors of production, own and run it successfully by their acumen. Factors influencing women entrepreneurship. In last couple of decades there has been growth of women entrepreneurship in India. This has been due to increase in literacy levels among females and genuine recognition of their competence. They have started taking up bigger challenges, management skills and leadership. Innovative women with entrepreneurial talent are likely to plunge into entrepreneurship provided they get favorable opportunities and facilitation. They are inclined to take up small business or industry to translate their innovative talent, ambitions, and risk-taking attitude into a position of entrepreneurship instead of employment. There are personal and external factors that influence women entrepreneurs' success. ILO, 2006. The personal factors comprise commitment, competencies, ideas, markets, and access to resources. The external factors comprise business development organizations, broader enabling environment, economic, market environment, and socio-cultural context. The business development organizations factor includes engagement of government, NGOs, private sector, membership organizations, and donors. The broader enabling environment factor underlines regulations, policies, institutions, and processes. The economic, market environment factor means opportunities and threats, e.g., inflation, interest rates, economic trends, etc. Lastly, the socio-cultural context factor considers attitudes, aspirations, confidence, etc., of the women foraying into entrepreneurship. Family business could be a driving factor in many cases of female entrepreneurship. They want to contribute alongside other members of the family, share in efforts and outcomes. Many times success stories of relatives and friends, other women, etc., influences to pursue entrepreneurial path. Such motivations prevail not only in the manufacturing sector but service sector as well. Government support for women entrepreneurship development. The government and non-government bodies are engaging and encouraging women and groups to attempt income generation opportunities through self-employment and business ventures. There are several policies and incentives to encourage women, including various forms of mentorship support and hand-holding. These factors encourage women to become entrepreneurs and explore commercial opportunities. Access to finance is a key requirement and challenge. Such facilities are now available on priority through banks and development finance institutions, with certain relaxations to assist women entrepreneurs. These facilities reduce deterrence in their journey towards entrepreneurship. Various policy instruments of facilitation have been introduced towards helping women to enter the entrepreneurial space. Most of the entrepreneurial growth initiatives underline the importance of promoting women entrepreneurship and include provision of support to address this agenda. Not only in India, but all over the globe, women entrepreneurs are taking new challenges in commercial world in leadership roles as professionals as well as entrepreneurs. The central and state governments have provided capacity building programs for women so as to empower them to become entrepreneurs. These programs are packaged with other supplementary facilities to help women to kickstart their own businesses. The government can also give special grants and subsidies to the women entrepreneurs. The Women Entrepreneurship Platform, WEP, is one such state-supported scheme at present for women. It comprises support to encourage and motivate, capacity building and hands-on support. Women at the ideation stage and established startups can register for the scheme. It also supports early-stage incubation and acceleration support. Recent trends in women entrepreneurship. With the raising awareness and support from government, institutions and individuals, face of women entrepreneurship development is witnessing positive and encouraging trends. Let us discuss that. One of the common reasons for women to take up entrepreneurship is to lead an independent life with self-confidence and self-respect. Other reasons include aspiration for economic independence, management and technical literacy, family support, economic necessity, community influence, NGO influence, family business and government support. Growing literacy and professional skills of women in technical, vocational, industrial, commercial, etc., drives women to take risks with confidence and set up businesses. They are also motivated to acquire specialized education so as to qualify themselves to be self-employed in some kind of trade, occupation, vocation or business. For example, many women, after becoming professionally qualified in medical sciences, engineering, etc., set up their own clinics or set up to provide services. They acquire training in the areas of weaving, stitching, grooming, etc., and set up their own business. Sometimes family circumstances create reasons for females to carry on businesses, and many times they spin off new entities or scale legacy businesses to new heights. Similarly, there are a lot of women entrepreneurs in smaller towns or even in bigger cities who independently or mostly in groups set up cottage firms and produce products which require competencies they already have, like snack items, pickles, packed food, parlors, etc. Some examples of women entrepreneurs. Shri Mahilagraha Udyog Lijatpapad Society is one of such drive, which was established to aim at women entrepreneurship and empowerment. Lijatpapad Company is brainchild of 7 semi-literate women of Gujarat who started from the roof of a residential building of Mumbai in 1959 from Gujarat and grew to a workforce of around 45,000. The brand is a leader in its category and exported as well. They wanted to create a livelihood source for their families and develop this product based on what they could do with their own skills, i.e., cooking. They realized their abilities once they got the exposure to possibilities. In their initial journey they got initial mentoring from Mr. Parekh as well as small credit support to initiate their work. These women entrepreneurs understood importance of trust in business and quality being the key factor in food consumption. They kept product quality above everything else. There are several other inspiring examples of women entrepreneurs who inspire potential youth to take up entrepreneurship. Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw is an Indian billionaire entrepreneur. She is the founder of Bcos Limited, a biotechnology company based in Bangalore, India. She founded Bcos India in the late 70s with an initial seed capital of few thousand rupees in rented premises in Bengaluru. She led Bcos from an industrial enzymes manufacturing company to a fully integrated biopharmaceutical company. She won several prestigious awards for her extraordinary contribution towards the progress of science, growth of commerce and inspiration for millions of people who want to pursue entrepreneurship. She is on the Financial Times Top 50 Women in Business list, ranked at 68th as Powerful Woman in Forbes and in 2019, EY World Entrepreneur of the Year 2020. Some of the other popular women entrepreneurs of India include Radhika Gayagawal, co-founder and CMO, ShopClues.com, Vandana Luthra, the founder of VLCC, Vani Kola, founder, Kalari Capital, Ritu Kumar the fashion designer, Sachi Mukherjee, founder and CEO of LimeRoad. Aditi Gupta, the co-founder of Menstropedia. Social entrepreneurship. Social entrepreneurs bring about transformative changes in society and economy by filling gaps and addressing unmet needs. They improve productivity and create value and wealth. Zara al. 2008 further defines social entrepreneurship as the activities and processes undertaken to discover, define, and exploit opportunities to enhance social wealth by creating new ventures or managing existing organizations in an innovative manner. Social enterprises keep social concerns in priority alongside organizations' own sustainability. Both works in tandem as sustainable organizations can empower the entrepreneur, sustain outreach to areas of social concern and appreciation of social benefit, attracts funding for the cause. Hence, capital accumulation is meant essentially for self-reliance and ensures long-term support for intended beneficiaries. Features of social entrepreneurs. 1. Social entrepreneurs are change agents in the social sector. 2. Social entrepreneurs pursue social value in addition to the private value. 3. They identify new opportunities to explore possibilities of service for the society and planet. 4. They pursue innovation to find solutions to existing unsolved social problems. 5. They adapt their capability models and organizational structures to respond to the social challenges. 6. They are open to new insights in their endeavor for new solutions and fulfill their vision. 7. Social entrepreneurs also exhibit a heightened sense of accountability to the intended audience of their services and solutions. 8. The target beneficiaries of such enterprises could be mostly people in lowest base of pyramid, discriminated communities, ecologically important constituencies important for overall sustainability, orphans, old age people, economically weaker and sick people, physically challenged and so on. 9. Types of innovations deployed include new products, services, new methods of production, new markets, new inputs or new organizational forms. Some examples of social entrepreneurs. Gunj is an example of a social enterprise which was founded in 1999 by Anshu Gupta. Gunj is engaged in disaster relief, humanitarian aid and community development in India. Gunj leverages unaddressed need of clothing for its targeted beneficiaries. Gunj collaborates with partners and communities to build facilitating infrastructure in the villages in the form of wells, clean ponds, road repair, schools, etc. In 2004, Gunj found the need for addressing hygiene concerns of women in villages and slums who cannot afford costly branded sanitary napkins. They rolled out affordable and fully biodegradable cloth pads, MyPads, for women in villages and slums. Mr. Anshu Gupta was bestowed India's Social Entrepreneur of the Year 2012 by Schwab Foundation and awarded the Ramon Magsaysay Award in 2015. It undertakes social innovation and non-profit entrepreneurial orientation at the organizational level to explore opportunities to create social wealth. Similarly, Husk Power Systems is a startup located in Bihar which services rural population in Bihar with electricity with the use of proprietary technology. They use biomass gasifier which uses rice husk, a waste from chaff of the rice, to generate energy. He realizes that lot of husk has been coming out as waste during rice processing in Bihar. He could sense the possibility of an enabling technology to process this waste into a valuable energy service which could address the electricity problems of rural population. They claim that this is around 30% cheaper than the traditional option and uses of local raw material. This is a case of combined rural and social entrepreneurship. Another example is Bungbrew, a do-it-yourself well for dry farmlands by Narita Service Private Limited. Bungbrew has irrigated 2.2 lakh hectares in 7 districts of the state, a report by Gujarat Ecology Commission says. It supplies abundant water in the dry months and also lessens the salt content in the soil. ECOPRENEURSHIP. Entrepreneurship means entrepreneurial processes where entrepreneur ventures into producing goods and services which focus environmental benefits like recyclable products to depletion of natural resources, greener products which save energy consumption, services that care for pollution, animal life, trees, flora and fauna and so on. These entrepreneurs set up businesses that solve environmental problems or operate sustainably. Schuyler, Gwen, 1998, defines ecopreneurs as entrepreneurs whose business efforts are not only driven by profit, but also by a concern for the environment. It is also known as environmental entrepreneurship and eco-capitalism. It is becoming more widespread as a new market-based approach to identifying opportunities for improving environmental quality and capitalizing upon them in the private sector for profit. There is growing trend globally towards society and state wanting goods and services producers to be more responsible towards ecological challenges. In many states in India, there is ban on use of plastic bags and encouragement for use of eco-friendly products and adoption of environment-friendly processes. Hence, there is a growing market segment which creates opportunities for commercial entities to sustain economically as well as address ecological concerns. Factors driving ecopreneurship peoples. There are several other factors driving such ventures. With the growing population and depletion of resources, there is a growing realization to address this scarcity issue. Like water scarcity is well-known concern globally including India. It is going to be more severe in times to come. Another factor is climate change and its impact on lives and livelihood on the planet. Hence, firms who take up this challenge and develop a vision for greener world are worthy of appreciation. To sustain, these firms need to strategize profits and eco-sustainability simultaneously. Many ecopreneurs leverage technological advances to find ways of reducing ecological risks. These entrepreneurs set up ventures and cater to the planet at the same time for sustainable ways and greener practices to enable businesses to achieve sustainability as well as profitability using enabling technologies. There are also regulatory requirements to stay greener in general, and many states have long-term agendas to scale the size of eco-friendly ventures. There are various state commitments and agreements at the global level which has prompted such state plans. States also provide incentives and support for such ventures. There are many schemes for entrepreneurs venturing into renewable energy sector like solar projects, windmill projects, etc. Hence, it serves as a combined opportunity to stay within norms, benefit society and commercially become profitable. Examples of ecopreneurship. An eco-friendly project in Assam uses bamboo for producing water bottles. There is also an entrepreneurial project to package natural spring water beverage packaged in recyclable aluminum cans. Spectrum Solar Private Limited, a company that conducts development and training programs for small-scale solar entrepreneurs. Spectrum Solar is a capacity building set up by a young entrepreneur in the areas of solar energy, offering services to capacitate stakeholders in different areas of installation and use. He found this opportunity after he realized competency challenge in this sector and government push for solar energy. He helps entrepreneurs set up these projects. Another example is of an ecopreneur who started Iketi in 2011 based in Mumbai to empower people to carry out sustainable farming in cities. The firm promotes farming in cities and offers services and resources. Cultural entrepreneurship. Cultural entrepreneurs are visionaries who mobilize cultural and other production factors to structure a business model which sustains through revenues from a cultural activity. Argeson, 2008, defines cultural entrepreneurs as risk-takers, agents of change, and creative thinkers who receive income from durable and creative cultural activities and organizations, improve the quality of life, and create cultural values for both creative manufacturers and consumers of cultural products and services. Their innovative services and products create a value proposition for market segments who appreciate such offers. It is about creation of any product or service that primarily targets tastes of its targeted segments. As a result, these organizations can sustain if the size of such segments is sufficient and growing. The development of cultural entrepreneurship facilitates in the creation of economically sustainable cultural enterprises that enhance livelihoods and create cultural value and wealth for both creative producers and consumers of cultural services and products. Features of cultural entrepreneurship. 1. Cultural entrepreneurship is an outcome-based of entrepreneurial journey of people who prioritize cultural values alongside ambitions for entrepreneurship. Culture is defined as the enduring set of values of a nation, a region, or an organization, and entrepreneurship as the act and process by which societies, regions, organizations, or individuals identify and pursue opportunities to create wealth. Hence, this combination drives cultural entrepreneurship. 2. It is an outcome of individual values shaped by geographic and cultural factors. It could be event managing firm who promote a certain type of culture, art etc., or innovate through a cultural change process for audience who appreciate change. Examples of cultural entrepreneurship are entrepreneurs who sustain enterprise with revenues sought directly or indirectly from specialized services like entertainment events about cultural aspects, exhibitions, festivals, shows, events etc. 3. Apart from usual risks of entrepreneurship, one of the risks for cultural entrepreneurs is change of individual taste and appreciation because taste and appreciation is the driver for sustainability of such ventures. We have several successful movie producers flop over time as they could not adapt with changing audience taste. Same audience earlier liked their services. Techno-entrepreneurship. Techno-entrepreneurs use technologies as core of their business model and capture economic value by offering better solutions for existing problems or solutions for unresolved problems. It requires identification of opportunities, capabilities, mobilization of resources and engagement with right market segment through right channels to capture value. Since technology advances is happening at a rapid pace and many technologies keep disrupting, the biggest challenge for techno-entrepreneurs is dealing with this uncertainty. Hence techno-entrepreneurs should be able to anticipate changes and have the agility to respond in time. Features of techno-entrepreneurship. 1. For key activities and resource. In most cases technology enterprise, entrepreneurs need the networks and partnerships to complete the requisite capabilities to stay competitive in highly competitive technology solutions. The competition in this market is intense as majority of the today's startups are engaged in technology-supported ventures. Need of collaborations, partnerships etc. also arises because many technology solutions have dependencies or require complementary support to capture value. 2. Technology entrepreneurs ideate, develop a plan and execute it, which could be in stages from incubation, proof of concept to commercial rollout of product or service. They need to demonstrate the utility and market viability of their solution to instill confidence of their partners, collaborators and above all their investors. 3. Standardization of new technologies is an important milestone, and trials during this period keep happening with regard to design, processes, product etc., till final standards are agreed by various stakeholders of that technology domain including regulators, 4. Since R&D and innovation plays a key role in technology entrepreneurship, intellectual property rights is another important ingredient of technology ventures. Patent holders need assurance of value capture for their efforts and suitable patent regime to ensure protection from any infringement. Also, process of filing to award of patent is a complex process and timelines vary across states. Novelty brings alongside uncertainty and the subjective creative characteristics of the opportunity recognition process. The sufficient awareness and knowledge of technology trends, regulations, consumer trends and agile innovative organization management are critical factors for the success of the techno-entrepreneurship. In many sectors, techno-entrepreneurs sustain through partnerships like carrying out R&D and innovation only while commercial production and marketing may be taken care of by the larger partners. This is a common phenomenon in pharma sector. 5. Another challenge is retentions of key technology experts who can create a situation of vulnerability sometimes as competitors influence these resources and hurt viability prospectus of the firm. This may be because the technology anchors the entire value creation and domain experts are the fuel of that technological edge or solution. 6. About the market. Techno-entrepreneurs must calibrate technological opportunities with market opportunities regularly across its journey. It is required to have relevant applications, services and products which enable value capture. These entrepreneurs many times need to figure out which technological options and applications to pursue without having much reliable information to gauge projections about market and technology itself. Support to techno-entrepreneurship. There are various state instruments in terms of policy, facilitation and encouragement to take up techno-entrepreneurship in India. There is technology incubation hubs like T-Hub in Hyderabad which has incubated more than 100 potential techno-entrepreneurs working with variety of technologies like blockchain, AI, additive manufacturing and so on. Here, ambitious entrepreneurs are supported with guidance, network opportunities, investor meets, training and several other facilities besides affordable hosting. Similarly, there are special technology parks to encourage techno-ventures and start-up venture funding facilities from government. Another positive factor is large technical talent pool in India and growing startup culture in cities like Bengaluru, Gurugram, and Hyderabad etc. Among the entrepreneurs, techno-entrepreneurs are going to a dominant share among new entrants alongside technology advancements in times to come. Heritage and tourism entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurs can explore economic and social opportunities through heritage tourism ventures. It can facilitate overall development by getting attention of state government and investors on things and places which otherwise may not be getting desirable attention. The importance and attention of heritage tourism is going to increase more in coming years. It includes business models which position heritage tourism services in the form of travel experience which is valued by the target customers and stakeholders. Examples include tours-related sites of archaeology, architecture, art, religious places, historic tours, museums, military history, music festivals, opera, pilgrimages etc. Since states are also interested to promote development of underdeveloped areas, any opportunity of exploring heritage tourism in such areas could help address the issue. The heritage tourism services to such areas are going to create an economic growth and development ecosystem around such services. Once tourist flow starts, other complementary services start appearing like transportation services, hospitality services, healthcare, infrastructure, maintenance, etc. Hence, such entrepreneurial efforts can be multipliers as it opens many more opportunities for new ventures which complement each other. Some countries like Mali, Mauritius, Switzerland and many other countries rely a lot on international tourists for state revenues. The tourists coming to visit places spend money for things other than at heritage tourist spots during their journey cycle. This boosts national income and overall development. There is often variety of heritage tourism services which could be packaged by these entrepreneurs in innovative ways to get more traction among the targeted customers. But to engage with target customers, they need to engage effectively at various stages of the customer journey cycle. The journey cycle may involve search, selection, time, and other facilities, mode of transport, security and revisit. Since much of this journey happens online nowadays, heritage tourism entrepreneurs need to leverage information technology solutions for being there at all important moments of customer journey. Social network also have a major role. Many tourists look for feedback of earlier visitors and tourists about places and service providers, which is nowadays common on social networks, review sites, blogs, etc. The target customers get more interested in use of new technologies. The technologies facilitate in the exploration of many places before selection of spots. Enterprises offer technology solutions to experience closer to real in a virtual stream remotely to bring authenticity and trust in the promise of experience. For effective delivery of marketing communication mix in the online environment, these entrepreneurs need to equally concentrate on digital marketing, enriching the marketing mix at lower costs, quicker response and personalized content. Hence, digital smartness is a major competency required for success of heritage tourism entrepreneurship. Access and infrastructure plays a big role in heritage tourism, and there are numerous potential places in India and many other developing and underdeveloped countries to explore which lack such facilities. Hence, there is need for strengthening more this facilitation and identify more deserving places to give boost to tourism, which can open avenues for more heritage tourism entrepreneurs and consequently development and economic well-being of these places. International entrepreneurship. International entrepreneurship means the process where an entrepreneur is offering products and services beyond state borders. It can comprise global trade, manufacture products or service base in other countries, collaborative projects and any other model where entrepreneur can create or capture value beyond country boundaries. Some firms start its international operation from the beginning, whereas some start later. Many entrepreneurs in various countries, including India, first establish themselves in local market and then stretch its footprint to other countries. There is relatively higher risk in international business and corresponding opportunities as well. Risks could be due to currencies, political issues, and regulation about ownerships, protectionism, and higher level of competition, stricter standards and so on. In some countries, outside entrepreneurs are compelled to have local partnerships or sometimes agree for technology transfer in case of technology ventures, which could lead to compromises. Also, cost of engagement may be high, like in case of services venture who wants to participate in tendering process. In a B2B scenario, they have to incur high cost in the pre-bid stage with highly uncertain outcome. In some international ventures, the global markets explored may have unfavorable social conditions, like in some African countries. There are security concerns for outside employees. It is important for international entrepreneurs to understand the maze of agreements between countries at different levels, like general agreements, regional agreement, bilateral agreements, etc. The detailed understanding helps in analyzing the implications for cost, restrictions, and opportunities. International trade is relatively more regulated than domestic trade, and violations can be costly. For global entrepreneurial aspiration, entrepreneurs should have high level of commitment and readiness for taking higher level of risk. They need to be smart enough to network and plan an effective strategy, as cost of failure could be high. However, e-commerce venture or entrepreneurs using digital channels can offset these challenges to some extent, provided they are able to understand target customers through reliable channels and provide distinct competitive solution at a better offer. Many entrepreneurs develop local partnerships to make effective distribution and sales channels in international markets. For example, many coir product manufacturer exporters in India had in past local partnerships in European countries and other countries of West to develop markets in those countries. Similarly, many IT solutions companies have created partnerships for gaining access to markets of other countries. There are several policy instruments in India to support international entrepreneurship for different stages of the business, like market promotion, development, credit financing, insurance, etc. Also, there are export promotional councils which facilitate networking, opportunity identification, marketing, capacity building, etc. like Export Promotional Council for Handicrafts, EPCH, based in Delhi, assists international handicraft entrepreneurs once they get registered with the council. ECGC, Export Credit and Guarantee Corporation, helps in the credit risks management. FIEO, Federation of Indian Export Organization, may be helpful in getting information about the global market and global products. Let us sum up. Rural entrepreneurship is a means to increase income and employment as well as providing stability and growth in rural communities. These entrepreneurs utilize local natural and physical resources to produce products like processed food, handicrafts, intermediate artifacts, etc., and services like tourist services, input labor services for bigger companies based in remote areas, and so on. One of the major challenges of entrepreneurial growth in rural space is lack of supportive ecosystem for individual growth, culture and enterprise support. Various government schemes have been launched from time to time to encourage rural entrepreneurship. In last couple of decades there has been growth of woman entrepreneurship in India. A woman enterprise is the one owned and controlled by a woman having minimum financial interest of 51% of the capital and giving at least minimum 51% of generated employment to women. There are several policies and incentives to encourage women, including various forms of mentorship support and hand-holding. Social enterprises keep social concerns in priority alongside organizations' own sustainability. Social entrepreneurs are change agents in the social sector. The target beneficiaries of such enterprises could be mostly people in lowest base of pyramid, discriminated communities, ecologically important constituencies important for overall sustainability, orphans, old age people, economically weaker and sick people, physically challenged, and so on. There is growing trend globally towards society and state wanting goods and services producers to be more responsible towards ecological challenges. Ecopreneurs set up businesses that solve environmental problems or operate sustainably. Cultural entrepreneurs are visionaries who mobilize cultural and other production factors to structure a business model which sustains through revenues from a cultural activity. Examples of cultural entrepreneurship are entrepreneurs who sustain enterprise with revenues sought directly or indirectly from specialized services like entertainment events about cultural aspects, exhibitions, festivals, shows, events, etc. Since technology advances is happening at a rapid pace and technologies keep disrupting, techno-entrepreneurs use technologies as core of their business model and capture economic value by offering better solutions for existing problems or solutions for unresolved problems. They must calibrate technological opportunities with market opportunities regularly across their journey. There are various state instruments in terms of policy, facilitation and encouragement to take up techno-entrepreneurship in India. Entrepreneurs can explore economic and social opportunities through heritage tourism ventures. Heritage and tourism entrepreneurship includes business models which position heritage tourism services in the form of travel experience which is valued by the target customers and stakeholders. Examples include tours-related sites of archaeology, architecture, art, religious places, historic tours, museums, military history, music festivals, opera, pilgrimages, etc. International entrepreneurship means the process where an entrepreneur is offering products and services beyond state borders. It can comprise global trade, manufacture products or service base in other countries, collaborative projects and any other model where entrepreneur can create or capture value beyond country boundaries. There is relatively higher risk in international business and corresponding opportunities as well.